Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I'm Wan Hakimah Wan Ibrahim from UNIZA. Today we will explore how oligopoly market goes on. In our previous lecture, we had discussed the basic concept of perfect competitive, monopoly and monopsony markets. Well, today we will look at another wonderful market structure, which is oligopoly market. First, let me start with learning outcomes of today's lecture. From today's lecture, the student should be able to first identify the basic concept of oligopoly market. Second, able to understand the operational of oligopoly firms. And the last one is to differentiate between market structure. Okay. Before I start the lecture, anybody ever came across about the oligopoly market so far? Oligopoly? Anyone? Don't worry, I will try to explain it to you now. Let me start with the basic concept of oligopoly market. Dear student, in an oligopoly market, we will have only few firms. I repeat it again, few firms. Few indicating a small numbers of firms in the market. Secondly, the product might be homogeneous or a bit differentiated. Remember, it is not 100% homogeneous, as we discussed in perfect competitive market earlier. Thirdly, there are barriers to entry. Some should like monopoly market. And then finally, there is interdependence of firms. Means that a firms able to affect other firms in the oligopoly market. Now, I have two questions. First, how is the market structure looks like? Secondly, can oligopoly control the price and the quantity level? Their answers are so simple. Look at the basic concept of this market. 1. The market structure. Only a few sellers offer similar or identical products. 2. The price and quantity decision can affect other firms and cause them to react. Of course, the oligopoly firms will react. For example, if a firm A introduces a new advertisement to attract the buyers, of course, firm B will also do the same thing. When a firm A does some promotion, of course, firm B will do so. See, the firm will always consider this reaction when making decisions. As we all know, this happens because of some special reason. Normally, oligopoly firms engage with strategic decision making, where each firm takes explicit account of a rival's expected response to a decision it is making. Remember once again, oligopoly firms mutually interdependent. Sometimes the decision can increase the firm's profit, and sometimes the firm will fail to do so because of wrong decision making. Now, I can guess what goes around in your mind. The example, am I correct? The common oligopoly firms we can see will be the telecommunication products such as Digi, Maxis, Celcom and so on, sport shoes and auto manufacturers. Now, we turn to oligopoly interdependence. Interdependence, what does this mean to oligopoly market? Strategic behavior, competition, or cooperation. Oligopoly firms always will react each and another. What is best for A depends upon what B does, and what is best for B depends upon what A does. Now, we look at the oligopoly market behavior. Basically, oligopoly market has two main behaviors, which are the cartel and contestable market model. Cartel models likely refers to combination of firms which set the price level in the market, while contestable market refers to barrier to entry and exit, price level determination, and competitive price settings. When oligopoly market attached with cartel, therefore, the firms able to set a price to maximize profit. The cartel will also set the output quotas for the cartel members and achieve joint profit maximization for a long period. Cartel will also limit the entry of firms into the oligopoly market and will always focus on maximum profit. Of course, now you will ask me to give some cartel example. What? OPEC? Yes, OPEC gives us a clear picture of cartel operation. All OPEC members will sit together and set the price as well the oil's production quotas. The price goes volatile because of this OPEC members' feedback with the cartel. This scenario is nothing to do with demand and supply for all resources because everything is controlled by the OPEC cartel. Sometimes this cartel will destroy some other oligopoly firms, especially with the technological superiority. Secondly, cartel earn high profit and always put more attention with technological changes. Now, you can see that oligopoly market is more attractive rather than perfect competitive monopoly or monopsony market, which we had discussed earlier. Now, we go to kink demand curve, which always referring to oligopoly markets. Kink curve sounds funny, but this is the fact for us as an economist. Put in your mind that oligopoly price won't change frequently. Kink demand curve arises when first, an oligopoly firm increases prices and other firms didn't follow it. Second, an oligopoly firm lower the price and other firms didn't follow it. How about sticky price? Another funny terms for today's lecture, right? Dear students, it is not a theory for oligopoly, but it is a theory of sticky price. When there is a kink in the demand curve, there has to be gap in the marginal revenue curve. That will be the sticky price. We won't deep on this aspect. Just a simple introduction for you all. This is final graph show the kink demand curve for oligopoly market. Negatively sloped and not a straight lines as the usual demand curve we know. While this curve show the combination of kink and marginal revenue curve. The gap between the curve and the price level will be the sticky price level. When we discuss about the oligopoly market, we need to face two items. First, the game theory, and the second is the prisoner dilemma. Don't get afraid, it's just a concept. Nothing doing with prisoners. Let me start with the first one, which is game theory. This theory will help us to understand the oligopoly market, where the firms, or we call them as a player, interact and behave strategically. For the players, the dominant strategy is the best action, regardless of the strategies chosen by another player in the oligopoly market. While prisoner's dilemma refers to a game between two oligopoly players, is illustrated in a mutual world of benefits, where both players will mutually beneficial. Then, prisoner's dilemma demonstrates the difficulty of cooperative behavior in certain circumstances. Now, we will have some puzzles down here. This is the prisoner's dilemma puzzles. How to read this puzzle? Left hand side out comes referring to Abu, and then top left side out comes referring to Ali. Both Ali and Abu jail for some reason, and the punishment is stated in the white and blue highlighted boxes. Both Ali and Abu jail for some reason, and the punishment is stated in the white and blue highlighted boxes. Both Ali and Abu has two options: either confess or remain silent. So for the outcomes, Ali and Abu both confess, and each gets 8 years in prison. Both would have been better off if both remain silent. Which will be the best opinion? Both get silent and get 1 year jail. This scenario has been adopted with the oligopoly prisoner's dilemma theory. Okay, after discussing the overall aspects of oligopoly market, we can conclude that oligopoly firms will always try to achieve a dominant strategy. In some cases, the interdependence of oligopoly's decision can opt to lead the prisoner's dilemma. Now, look at this. I managed to conclude today's lecture with the previous market structure that we studied in last few weeks. Now, we can compare this firm based on the numbers of firms, barriers to entry, market power, and the type of product. Okay, thank you very much everyone for watching our microeconomics videos. Keep smiling and keep on reading microeconomics.